Now on CoastTV News.
Plans for a new building, including a new police station, community meeting facility, and parking spaces, all in downtown Milton. What the town and community are saying.
Ocean City is looking to crack down on what people can leave or do in public spaces.
The Minnis Conway and Route 1 intersection, it will look a bit different by 2028.
And growing needs, growing dreams, Cape Henlopen Senior Center strives towards a new home with more space.
And by this time tomorrow, we'll be easing our way into the 80s. Will this summer-like temperature pattern continue? I'll have the answer coming up.
This is CoastTV News at 5.
Empty lots, but big plans. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our news at 5. We begin tonight with Milton Town Council moving forward with the purchase of 6 lots downtown for $1.65 million.
On your screen, you're going to see these properties. They're on Broad, Mulberry, and Magnolia Streets, kind of spread out around there. Coast TV News reporter Anna Sophia Roman is live in downtown Milton. Anna Sophia, you're standing right where the new police station and community facility would be built.
Maddie, right behind me, it's where the new police station and the new community meeting space will go. The building will be between 25 and 26,000 square feet. Now let me show you. This fence right here and that house in the back will be gone. That's where the garage for police use and the new parking spaces will go. A need for more space at this current police station in Milton and a meeting facility is about to change. Milton Mayor John Collier says it's something Milton has needed for a long time.
The town has no dedicated meeting facilities, and we struggle to find places to hold our meetings, and it's just too much going on in this town to have to go through that. So we have to make choices, and this is a choice we've made.
Current plans show there will be 60 parking spaces off Magnolia Street. Nisha Wilmer has lived in Milton all her life and has seen the town's growth.
We need somewhere to park. We have so much activities down in Milton and there's no parking. And this, I think, will be a great thing for Milton.
The cost of the project is not determined at this moment, but Mayor Collier assured there will not be a tax increase to fund it.
The town sets aside money annually. There are potential grant windows that we can pursue. Worst case scenario would be going to referendum to borrow money.
A new project to meet the community's and town employees' needs. Mayor Collier told me there is room for a basketball court and also a public restrooms facility. He says the final plans will take between 1 and 2 years. Live in Milton, Ana Sofia Roman, Coast TV News.
Thank you, Ana Sofia. Mayor Collier said after they redraw property lines, the town will put again the market these 2 historic homes on Broad Street. They're not going to use them, so they're going to sell them.
A proposed new rule in Ocean City would ban personal belongings and sleeping in public areas. Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zapay is live in Ocean City. Kevin, these changes could impact the homeless.
Charlie, there are a number of homeless people here in Ocean City, so if these rules do take effect, they're going to have to pack their things and try and stay somewhere else. Now, if approved, the town could impound any property that is left in public spaces after 24 hours and hand out misdemeanors to people sleeping in public spaces. Some vacationers think it's a step toward making Ocean City more orderly and welcoming, while others think you should let them be.
We have about 3 or 4 benches way up on 27th or 28th Street, and they don't seem to bother anybody.
The Ocean City Council plans to move this ordinance forward for further review. I'm Kevin Zapay, live in Ocean City, Coast TV News.
To Lewis now, the Minnis Conway project will soon be underway. DelDOT says they're excited and saying it's going to be a lot safer than the current intersection there at Route 1 and that cross street. The purpose, to divert traffic from the highway and provide people a way to move around it. Now, the Minnis Conway project includes 3 roundabouts. DelDOT's Director of Community Relations says it's really all about safety.
Data that shows that they are significantly safer than traditional 4-way intersections. Instead of having 32 potential points of conflict, you're down to 8.
DelDOT says there will be some disruptions at some point, but says the public will be notified ahead of time.
This brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, what should be Delmarva's road priority?
Let's take a look at the results so far. Take a look at your screen, and 74% say widen roads, though more roundabouts, better lighting, and dedicated bike paths are all getting a little bit of the vote.
We do have a comment from Donald and Lewis. He says, quote, just keep the ones we have well maintained, unquote. If you haven't voted yet, it's easy to do. Go to coasttv.com, use the mobile app, and you can even leave a comment like Donald did. Plan for the open land. This plot is set to be a new Cape Henlopen Senior Center in Rehoboth Beach. The current senior center, they say they need more room for the growing population and the growing needs of seniors. The new location on Hebron Road will be about 3 times the space of the current facility. The senior center says that the project is going to cost about $10 million, and right now they only have about $1 million saved. Some seniors say the community has given them purpose.
But I didn't know anybody, didn't know what to do, was unfamiliar with the area. And this brought us out of our shell, gave us people, new friends, people to do things with and enjoy.
The senior center says they're reaching to the state for additional funds, and they're hoping to break ground in the fall.
A calendar change is headed for Indian River students. The Board of Education has moved the last day for students in grades pre-K to 11 to Wednesday, June 11th. The district says that change is due to surplus hours gained when the school was extended by 20 minutes earlier this year.
Happening now in Georgetown, an effort to improve bike and pedestrian pathways. DelDOT is hosting a workshop to gather public input on improvements within the town. There's still some time to participate. The workshop runs until 6:30 at the Georgetown Public Library. Tonight at 11, we're going to share developments out of tonight's meeting.
New at 5, a look from above of crews on the scene responding to a fire in Delmar. This was King Farms on Foskey Lane. Delmar Fire says several wooden pallets, a trailer, and a building caught fire. No word yet on the cause. The fire comes as there's an elevated risk for fire spread this afternoon across most of Delaware.
We're taking a live look into Laurel now. Looking like a great day out there as we check in with our First Alert Chief Meteorologist, Paul Williams. And Paul, we're really heading into that time of year where you're the good guy again.
Well, try to be at least, right? Because nobody wants the recreational rain. They want the recreational sunshine. Well, we're actually in need of that. Now, keep in mind, we are no longer under a drought threat at this point, but there's been a special statement that was issued by the National Weather Service. Elevated risk for fire spread. Outdoor burning is strongly discouraged as a result of this. And we have winds coming out of the southwest, and it's a bit of a drying wind as well. Now, we're nowhere near anything where drought or abnormally dry, but we're not getting much in the way of rain. I mean, when you take a look at this from a monthly standpoint, we're only 1/10 of an inch ahead of pace for this month alone. So we've slowed down drastically from when we built up a little more credit, so to speak, with some additional rain earlier. Now, as far as the year is concerned, we are still about 2 inches on the positive side of the amount of rainfall we would typically receive at this point. But when you combine that with the drying out that's occurring with temperatures well above the norm for this time of the year, that drying situation is going to continue to be the case. And then the winds are continue to pick up at about 25 miles per hour and just kind of swirling across the Delmarva Peninsula. Coming up, Charlie, we're going to talk more about the possibility of temperatures reaching into the 80s going into tomorrow.
President Trump spending his 100th day in office in Michigan, a state he won last year, but this year businesses in the Motor City are now dealing with the president's tariff policies. NBC's Gabe Gutierrez takes a look at what he's accomplished.
What would it be? Today, the White House hitting a milestone.
We've done everything, or it's in the process of being done.
President Trump touting his economic policies as his administration announces measures to soften the impact of tariffs on imported vehicles and car parts. Those 25% tariffs will stay in place, but they'll be modified so that they're not stacked with other levies like those on steel and aluminum. Also, automakers in the U.S. will be reimbursed for some of the tariff costs on imported parts. The Treasury Secretary today defending the tariff policies, which critics argue are causing chaos and confusion.
I think the aperture of uncertainty will be narrowing, and as we start moving forward announcing deals.
Despite that upbeat tone from the White House, consumer confidence on the economic future is falling.
You have to go all the way back to October of 2011 to find a lower number on confidence.
The president's first 100 days have been busy. He's already signed 143 executive orders, far more than his predecessors. On immigration, illegal border crossings have plummeted as deportations from inside the U.S. have ramped up. Supporters applauding the crackdown, critics blasting a lack of due process. The newly created Department of Government Efficiency, run by Elon Musk, has slashed federal government jobs and departments. Supporters have cheered the cuts to bureaucracy. Critics argue they've been haphazard, with many essential personnel and programs later reinstated. The president also clashing with allies such as Canada and Mexico and confronting Ukrainian President Zelensky in a jaw-dropping argument in the Oval Office. Democrats struggling to find their own message ahead of next year's midterm elections.
And it's eating away at America's rule of law, America's norms, America's fundamental values. And people are scared and people are angry.
Gabe Gutierrez, NBC News, the White House.
Staying in Washington, House Republicans blocked an investigation into Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's controversial use of the app Signal. Democrats wanted to force a full House vote on a resolution of inquiry, which would have called on President Trump and Hegseth to turn over all communications about military operations. GOP leaders tucked a provision denying the vote into a rule.
Special event zone in Ocean City. How long drivers have to watch out for increased parking fines during the town's next big event.
And the temps will be elevating into the 80s for tomorrow. More on your warm-up weather coming up.
New housing in Cambridge, how officials say new development will benefit the local economy. Up next.
This is Coast TV News at 5.
New development is coming to Cambridge, specifically on the property of the Cambridge Hyatt.
According to developers, the Tides at River Marsh has been 2 decades in the making. 76 homes are already under construction, but more than 600 are planned.
Officials in Dorchester County say this will cause an economic boom.
This job is going to have to create jobs, one by building, as well as the amenities that they're planning on bringing to this community.
The price range of these houses range from about $200,000 to $400,000.
Here's a look at your forecast. Our Bay forecast: 83 on Wednesday, 73 on Thursday, and back to 84 on Friday. Your full forecast coming up. We're totally clear at this point, and thanks to the clear skies, we've had ample opportunity to enjoy the irradiation effects of the sun. In other words, clear skies, we warm up a whole lot quicker. Take a look. Our tunnel razor camera in Lewis at 81 degrees will stay in the 70s throughout the rest of the evening. As the sun goes down, we'll kind of tank the temperatures a little bit more rapidly down into the 60s. Here's a look at the temperatures right now. We are really warm the farther you go in, and we're at 79 degrees, not only in Georgetown, but in Milton, and we're holding at 79 degrees right now in Millsboro. It's 80 degrees currently for us in Willard. The winds right now gusting out of the south, picking up a little momentum. We're about to become a bit on the breezy side. We've recorded a 31-mile-per-hour wind gust in Georgetown throughout the day, a 29-mile-per-hour wind gust in Indian River Inlet, a 21-mile-per-hour wind gust in Bethany Beach. And it makes sense because we're right now under a small craft advisory throughout the entire Delmarva Peninsula, along basically the entire coastal region. We're bracing for about 25-mile-per-hour winds, but it's staying clear in the upper atmosphere for the most part. Very active weather and thunderstorms making its way into portions of Pittsburgh, just so you'll see. But that's projected to move well to our north and shouldn't become an immediate threat or a passive threat for us whatsoever. Overnight, thick cloud cover, and we'll have temperatures in the 60s. But as you take a look, we're looking for some summertime sunshine to rebound on. 81 in Lewis for the high, 83 in Georgetown, Millsboro, and Seaford. We're anticipating warming up to at least 81 degrees in Cambridge, 82 in Vienna, and we should get up to about 81 in Berlin, 82 degrees actually in Snow Hill. So for Wednesday morning, we start off with a bit of cloud cover, temperatures in the upper 60s. At 6:30 in the morning. That clears out in time for us to enjoy temperatures bouncing back into the 80s inland, a bit cooler along the beaches into the 60s and 70s actually, so not quite as warm there. But inland we go. By 2 o'clock, we'll have temperatures in the mid-50s by Thursday morning, and then by Thursday afternoon, by 3 o'clock, we're not going to be quite as warm on Thursday, but we're still going to be above the norm for this time of the year. Now, as we go into the most southern portion of our viewing area, we'll start off 67 for Wednesday morning at 5:30 in Ocean Pines and Berlin, but then we warm to about near 80 degrees just about everywhere. 79, just shy of that 80-degree mark. Then as we go into Thursday, we see cloud cover bulking in and building in. Temperatures in the mid-50s, and then we'll climb into the 60s going into Thursday afternoon, not quite as warm. Now, our chances of precipitation will escalate significantly for us Saturday going into Sunday and possibly Monday. So what's going on there? Well, you see Saturday morning, we look cloudy, but Saturday evening, we start seeing a little circulation with a small-scale low-pressure system expected throughout Maryland. It'll bring that first wave of rain that'll push through. By Sunday in the afternoon, a second wave will push through, looking pretty healthy. And then even going to Monday, we're going to look for a pushback coming off of the water with an additional slice of rain that will come knocking on our door. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. We're looking out for scattered showers on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and maybe even Tuesday.
All right, Paul, thank you. To Ocean City, starting today until May 4th, all speed limits 30 miles or lower. That's due to the special event zone in place for the 35th annual Cruise in Ocean City event. During the next couple of days, you'll see more police than usual. If you do get pulled over, the fines will also be increased. There's also enhanced paid parking rates and penalties during these types of special events.
Right now on the Delmarva Sports Network, it's Hood College at Salisbury University in baseball. Then watch the final score. That's going to be at 10:30. On DSN Plus, you can watch a variety of different baseball and softball games happening right now on Delmarva. Coming up, Amazon tariff battle, how the White House slammed the company over displaying tariff costs next to items. Stay tuned on CoastTV News at 5.
Amazon considered displaying tariff costs for some products on its Amazon Haul site, but an Amazon spokesperson said that was never a consideration for the main site. The update from the company came today after an earlier report from Punchbowl News cited a source saying Amazon would soon start displaying tariff costs to help illustrate how they impact the price of goods. The Trump administration attacked the reported move by Amazon.
I will not speak to the president's relationships with Jeff Bezos, but I will tell you that this is certainly a hostile and political action by Amazon.
Shares of the retail giant founded by Jeff Bezos dropped in pre-market trading following those remarks.
New tonight, authorities in Iraq have arrested a suspect connected to the deadly New Year's Day car attack in New Orleans. Officials say the man arrested this week is responsible for inciting the attack and will be tried in Iraq under that country's anti-terrorism law. In the early morning hours of New Year's Day, a man drove a rented truck down Bourbon Street in New Orleans, killing 14 people and wounding nearly 60 others. The man eventually died in a shootout with police.
To sports now, the first Saturday in May. It always means the Kentucky Derby, the 151st this year. The historic Churchill Downs is preparing for the annual Run for the Roses. The Derby is the first leg of the Triple Crown and is one of the most prestigious horse races in the world.
You can watch this year's Kentucky Derby right here on Coast TV. Coverage begins Saturday at 2:30 p.m.
Let's take a live look into Ocean City. One more check on the forecast after this.
Coming up new on Coast TV News at 6, dogs on the boardwalk. The last day owners in OC have to bring their furry friends to the beach.
Okay, here's my favorite story of the day. Ocean City police are honoring the retirement of Canine Smoke. You see him here after 7 years of service alongside handler Erica Road. OCPD says Smoke was always present at roll call and frequently seen patrolling the hallway or kitchen in search of his next snack.
Following an injury, Smoke is now enjoying retirement. Got to get into that. While Road welcomes her new partner, it is Cedo to the force.
Okay. Take a look at our Ocean City, though. We're looking at 63 and partly cloudy skies throughout the night. Listen, umbrella giveaway winner, Kathleen Lepolsky. Congratulations from Lewis. By the way, keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away, sponsored by the law offices of Brockstead, Mandalis, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. 83 on Wednesday, down by 10 degrees, then back up to 84 on Friday. Then here comes the rain, Saturday and Sunday and Monday and Tuesday and maybe even Wednesday.
Okay, Paul, thank you, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 5.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
Inside Edition is up next.
And we're going to see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great evening.